Zhuge Liang, aka Shoukat Koumei, aka Kongming, was a strategist of the state of Shu during the China's Three Kingdoms period. 60 years marked by constant wars between mainly three powers to decide who would reign over the land of noodles. Zhuge Liang was an intellectual, taken as the most accomplished strategist of his era. His name is associated with wiseness. Many representations of such a man were made over the years in media, but none came close to representing his amazing skills. What could be done? This was a man capable of stopping an entire army with only an harp and an open door. Who could show the greatness of such a person? Who would be capable of displaying the many feats he achieved for modern people to understand? No one, other than himself. Think, how an anime that no one knew about suddenly got right behind the monsters of the season like Mr. and Mrs. Smith and 2009 Vocaloid Song V3. There is no way such a thing could happen. Actually, there are several underdogs that got popular in previous seasons. No way, I tell you! Not unless someone was orchestrating this behind the scenes. Look at Paripi Koumei. Have you read the synopsis? This is just an isekai! An inverse one, but it is still an isekai. And we know isekai equals bad, so this should also be bad. And the only thing to differentiate it from the rest should be a gag of cultural differences and occasionally a song popping up to move the plot. You know, similar to what you thought K-On! Would be before it left you with an emotional scar for the rest of your life. But this isekai does not follow common logic. It is good. Too good, in fact. No Japanese person would be able to make this. They are too deep into the trashed rabbit hole. The way the characters were meticulously made so that even secondary ones have actual significance to the plot, while the main ones are extremely engaging. Said plot that by itself also feels too original and well written, even with clear resemblances to other genres. And that's not all. Look at where the series takes place. Do you think a Japanese person that works making anime actually knows what clubs, music events and such look like? These people don't have time to breathe, much less to actually enjoy life. And the biggest factor that shows this was made by someone else. The OSTs, other than raps, are all in English. Why does that matter? Have you heard a Japanese person speaking in English before?
Hello, my name is Cowboy Tanaka.
So why would they go out of their way to write English lyrics for the songs? Simple, they wouldn't! Not unless someone else told them to. And that person is Kongming. How, you may ask? It's simple. The anime itself contains clues that Kongming left to show he was behind it. Kongming could predict the future using ancient Chinese bullshit. And one thing he saw motivated him. Knowing Shu would lose the war? No. Learning how China would receive tons of hate thanks to a bad-eating motherfucker? No! What motivated this man was knowing that in the future, his name would be mostly assimilated to an overworked gacha character. Geniuses are proud and egocentric, so this man, even in all of his humbleness, could not let such humiliation pass. He orchestrated a plan to make his image in the future be of an absolute shed and left instructions for that to be passed by followers all the way to the present. But how could he be so sure that it would work? Think! Everything is paced meticulously. Why an anime? Because it is a media from Japan. The Japanese reading system is a copy of the Chinese one. So he could leave the instructions with the most details with little fear they would get lost in translation. Why in 2022? Because Japanese people would have mastered the quality of animation and staffing needed. Why an isekai? Because he saw that they are unfortunately the most popular genre of anime at the moment. Why focus on music? Because it is something that could touch people since ancient times. Why are the main OSTs in English? Because he saw that would be the most popular language worldwide, but he had no way of learning it. So he just left instructions so that a talented person should be called to handle this. That's the same reason why the raps are in Japanese. Kongming saw them was the same as Chinese poetry, so he wrote them by himself, and using a rap battle to show he was talented in doing so. Wiki, what about the last OST? That one is in both English and Japanese. I know, but that's because that's the last OST. Anyone that got to it would be already so hooked up to the show they would not care about language anymore. If the song was in fucking Portuguese, people would have still loved it. And that's not even the end of it. Looking back at the characters, do you really think every single character being relevant to the plot was just to make this a better built anime and make it seem like some kind of lesson about how everyone you meet can be a part of how your future is made? No, you fool! Kongming added them meticulously to make him look better. The really secondary ones like the Tequila Boys and the Spy have some relevance to show how Kongming was capable of turning anyone useful to complete a plan. He added characters to explain his feats to the viewer to ensure everyone could understand how amazing he was. But evolved them to be plot relevant too, so that they were not just random explaining mobs you see elsewhere. He made enemies progressively stronger, so that he could show little by little how he was capable of creating strategies to overcome them peacefully. He made strong and compelling allies, with understandable backstories to join his side on his quest to world peace, to show his remarkable negotiation skills. He made himself as the man capable of anything, but humble and efficient, to earn people's respect. And finally, he made Eiko, a common girl with common problems, a realistic personality, and a relatable situation to many, so that a best girl would share the protagonism with him. Because he knew the waifu madness would exist in the anime community. He even made her look like the main protagonist at times, and acted only as the voice of reason so that viewers would feel more attached to her, and think of him as the amazing backstage guy, in a way to make not only himself respected, but also his leader. Unfortunately for him, Kongming did not count on how the weebs of the future would be fixated on unrealistic waifus like hot assassins, super-powered cuties, and overly exaggerated can't-do-anything girls instead of an unrealistic best waifu. If not, Kongming's objective would have been closer to achievement. What objective? The one he says in the anime, of course. To make Eiko be known worldwide and reach global peace. But change Eiko with Kongming and world peace to the best known strategy to ever exist. Think I'm crazy? Look at the anime song views on Spotify and YouTube. He already surpassed the in-anime goal. Even those probably have some kind of hypnotic effect to hook people up. No anime opening is such a banger. It is only a matter of time before this anime transcends the anime bubble and everyone knows who Kongming was. And there is nothing we can do about it! Because he really was amazing and this anime is a work of art. So why would we do anything to stop him? Just sit back and enjoy the